Well, hey, we're here at VentureX and the podcast studios of Peachtree Rose Marketing. So it's a beautiful space. You've done wonders here, Matt. So I think people would really enjoy having an opportunity to learn a little bit more about you.
Yeah, well, thanks so much, Jim. And we have come a long way, as you know, firsthand. 3 years in the space, I believe, just
Yeah.
about the same time as opening and maybe even some pre-open. I remember the brown, floor mats at the time, the cardboard everywhere and pre-open. And
Yeah, it was lovely then.
it was, and it's even lovelier now.
Thank you for allowing the vision to
We were there.
manifest in yourself.
I've enjoyed that because I think the space itself attracts visionaries, and that's you're a big part of that. So I appreciate the mentorship. A little bit about me, as you know, the audience probably doesn't know. I'm a former human intelligence collection guy on the intel world and behavioral threat assessor by way of Air Force Office of Special Investigations in a past life.
Okay.
And I was building things on the side and luckily stumbled upon this beautiful co-working space while I was building things. And like you, I've worn many hats like that that somehow lean into fun stuff like this eventually. So created Peachtree Rose Marketing to help a different venture in the marketing realm that I had started 15 years ago when I was on active duty.
Okay.
A web-based translation agency at the time while I was in Korea. And a buddy of mine needed some documents translated. I was a Mandarin linguist, but I did not speak the language he needed for his fiance's documents.
Okay.
But I knew a guy. And the entrepreneurial mind, once it kicks in, you never stop thinking about ways to solve a problem for somebody else.
Right. There's always a guy, but the business is finding somebody else that,
Yes.
being the person that finds those people for somebody else.
Yes.
So-
So at the time, created a web-based translation agency, did really well doing that remotely around the world and managing that network of freelance translators. And that world has gone completely crazy. And it's all kinds of tech involved now. And I sold the original company, recreated a newer version, and still have had that on the side. Created the marketing company in 2022.
Right.
So just before VentureX opened.
Okay.
And then I realized I really had a passion for working with other small and mid-sized businesses at the time and helping them grow with traditional and non-traditional marketing means.
Okay.
And then we quickly niched into the video podcasting space.
Okay.
And as you know, in this space, I think I asked you one day, Jim, do you have any designs on building your own podcast studio?
And my answer after talking to all of my other franchisors or franchisees and a lot of other people in the industry was that no, that would be a terrible business to be in because it's not a core business. It's not our core strength. And I realized it wasn't a core strength. But when you came and said, hey, I could maybe do that, it was like, well, then best of both worlds. We get to have that facility, which is obviously needed, but I, not the expert, do not have to run that. And you, the expert, can run that. So it made perfect sense.
And it really worked out. I think it took me about 2 weeks to build out our core flagship 4-person podcast studio, which is kind of what you see as a lot of the backdrop.
Right.
This is the more recent, really elevated, befitting of this brand, VentureX studio. I think 2 weeks of throwing up acoustic paneling. And I think my ask to you before then was, would you mind if I put something on the walls? Surprise! Thank you.
Well, we look at the results. We don't always look at the road to get to the results.
Yes, yeah.
So it's a gorgeous space. So, it was well worth it.
Yeah,
That stuff.
Thank you.
Well, you talked a little bit about Peachtree Rose. Tell me a little bit more about what you do in your marketing hat and what
Sure.
Peachtree Rose is all about.
So just like Peachtree Rose Marketing started with web design, search engine optimization, and direct mail, we
Okay.
quickly pivoted into content marketing and helping brands, businesses, and personalities show up on the right platforms in front of the right target audiences. So podcasting was a phenomenal niche space to get into and
Sure.
kind of build that authority locally here in San Antonio. And just as dynamic as we were a couple of years ago, really getting into that, we've been doing the same with answer engine optimization.
Okay.
So not just performing for traditional search engines like Google and Bing, but helping clients show up as the solution for their brand in answer engines such as ChatGPT, Claude, Gemini, Perplexity, you name them.
Yeah, that's really where a lot of the marketing is going now, is it not?
Yep, absolutely. And that's what we're seeing. I love AI. I think there's a lot of fear marketing out there right now with AI. I think nobody, including myself, knows where it's going to go because we just can't comprehend exponential growth as humans.
Right.
So it's hard to say like what industries will not exist, even though people have their predictions, and what new industries we've never thought of will exist.
Right. Yeah. It's, we've had these different evolutions of, the world, whether it be agricultural, then the industrial revolution, then you had, people in offices with computers, and now we have AI, and where it goes from here is going to be anybody's guess. So, but it seems like those keep getting shorter and shorter. So it may be, whatever we're not thinking of that follows AI may be just around the corner.
I agree. In the web design realm, I think web design is still relevant. I think search engine optimization is still relevant and holds market share for a number of years. I think showing up in traditional search like Google is actually a part of how you also show up in AI. So
Sure.
there's a lot of runway there still as marketing as a service. We started here at VentureX with a dedicated desk.
Right.
And we've now grown to 7 private offices in this beautiful studio as well.
Right.
And some of those are podcast studios. But I suspect we'll continue to help businesses here in this ecosystem grow.
Yeah.
And we'll obviously grow with you in different spaces here in San Antonio as you branch out and build new co-working spaces. I, like you, am of the abundance mindset instead of the scarcity mindset. So I think as much fear marketing as there is out there in the world of AI, I think there's a lot of opportunity to be had. I just recently made my very first WordPress plugin.
Oh, great.
And WordPress as a content management system powers something like 43% of the internet.
Right.
And we've used it for a lot of small and medium businesses in terms of website build out because you can go between different hosting accounts with other companies and you can move your WordPress website with you pretty seamlessly. So if you were with GoDaddy for 3 years and they drop a surprise and say, hey, your rates are going up 50% this renewal period, just thought we'd let you know. You can always go over to Bluehost or some other hosting account and simply bring that with you. And then, with WordPress, you're able to, adjust a lot of the functionality, the flavor, faster and funnier, as you say.
Yeah.
Through millions of plugins that are open source and paid and premium. So we created one that allows, smaller businesses to basically run a marketing firm from a search engine optimization standpoint inside their WordPress accounts. And it's really for agencies to manage marketing for small business, both for answer engine optimization and search engine optimization.
Now, are you using that for your clients to help them as an adjunct to what you're doing?
Correct.
Okay.
And honestly, it's not all altruistic. A part of that, because we're not charging our existing clients for implementing that. I want to see phenomenal growth, and I want to create case studies out of that. I think with what we've created and how robust it is, it does leverage AI, but it's not as simple as going to OpenAI's ChatGPT and saying, hey, make me a new blog article on personal injury attorneys in San Antonio.
Sure.
It's a lot more robust, and it takes into account a brand dossier, brand guidance, search engine optimization specs that are local to this area, competitor near real-time research, and it goes back and forth with AI through API tokens. So,
Well, I mean, you've sort of touched on it a little bit here. There's been tremendous change in the whole marketing field. When I had my marketing company, there wasn't even an internet. So that was, in the way before times.
Yellow Pages.
But there was Yellow Pages, yes, indeed, and billboards and TV and fun things like that. But today, it seems like every time you turn around, there's something new. What are you thinking of as how is this going to evolve? What's the future going to look? Is it really going to be very, very precise marketing to individuals? Is it going to be something that you're able to take your company and separate it from everybody else out there? How's the future look for you?
I think a lot of it's going to be familiar to those who understand the fundamentals of marketing already. And that's probably a contradiction to those who are just super nerding out into the AI world these days and saying it's all going to be different. I think the human element always exists. And I think that's something, if you know how to capitalize that, you understand human behavior, you can take whatever new tool we've never thought of and you can do that at scale. And that's kind of what we're doing now. Last Thursday's networking event here at VentureX, every last Thursday of the month. Shameless plug.
What a great name.
So you don't forget it. That's a great example of a cool networking event where people can rally around, a person who's got their own personal brand, arguably, and they can impart their wisdom, knowledge, or whatever they've got to do that's of value to folks.
Sure.
And it's a great way of connecting with someone you've never met and networking. There's a number of great networking events here in San Antonio. If you go to them the way that I used to go to them, and you bring a stack of business cards and you're looking to drum up business by having, cold conversations with people, you're probably doing it the wrong way. And if you do go and, people are slinging business cards to you and you're not getting at least some depth of conversation out of it, you're probably missing out. But either way, you're getting touch points with people, which is great. It takes, between 7 and 8 touch points to do business with a brand, or before someone's willing to do business with a brand.
Especially here in San Antonio, where it's so relationship.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And for me, I think marketing is when you can do that at scale.
Okay.
So when you can network, or at least increase the number of touch points with somebody that seems genuine, authentic, and allows you to show up as a subject matter expert authority in your industry.
Right.
I think that's when you become the go-to for whatever product or service you have. And if you can do that at scale, that's when you no longer have a problem with marketing. You then have a triage problem of who can I best serve and how can I serve them in the best way,
Okay.
So.
Well, I think that has covered a lot of the things that we wanted to chat about. But one of the things that, I'm very interested in is, what does the future look like for you and for Peachtree Rose? I mean, how are you going to grow? Talking about scaling and those types of things, what does that mean for Peachtree Rose?
I think for us, we want to continue to be the depth of research in the front end of marketing, whatever that looks like in the future. That's why we've pivoted more than a few times, because that's the way it's working for clients. Right now, we're recording on 4K cameras, and we've got some high quality audio that's going to be converted into a transcript on YouTube and scrubbed by AI, and there's going to be a lot of cool brand citation out there. So that's a part of answer engine optimization and showing up for folks. But that's going to be it. It's just we're going to continue to stay abreast of what's new in the future as it unfolds, and just try and break it as quickly as we can.
Yeah. So behind the scenes, Matt, you and I spend a lot of time just sort of thinking and about what's going to be the next new thing and how you can incorporate some of these different types of capabilities that are out there right now into the marketing, or how I can do marketing, for my brand here and stuff as well. So that's been really a lot of fun to share
Likewise.
that with you.
Yeah, thank you for that.
Well, I think that pretty well covers it for right now. Check us on the next one. But thank you, Matt, for having me in the Peachtree Rose studio. It's a lovely, lovely space, and we have great views here too. So really appreciate it. Thank you, and until the next time.
Thanks for hosting, Jim.
You bet.